friends, it's been a while. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you for sticking around. It's been such a long time. I've been wanting to sit down and record this video for so long now. I'm talking like a year and a half maybe. It's just been so hard to just get started. But I figure no time like the present. So I'm just going to sit here and speak from the heart. So where I have been during my YouTube hiatus, a lot has been going on. My full-time job kind of started to rev up a bit, which took a lot more of my time, a lot more of my energy. But I have gained some new skills and things like that. So that's always good when it comes to your work and your passion. Also experienced a lot of mental health issues, emotional things, just a lot happening, and those things more so with like burnout, exhaustion, just a lot of inner noise, you know, things like that. And then of course lastly, just not knowing the direction that I wanted to go with my channel, with my side business, just all things. I kind of just lost that passion. And I guess I will briefly touch on something else as well that occurred that kind of affected my desire to want to be on camera and be present. And I may do another video later on about this and kind of talking about what happened and kind of all of that. But I experienced something that was really hard for me, and it was essentially being taken advantage of by certain people because of things that I posted online. Of course, being a primarily financial channel, I do want to start to tap into other things like lifestyle content and things like that, but it's primarily a personal finance channel. And being a personal finance YouTuber, you kind of share more information than people would normally share just in everyday life. And you have people out there, nefarious people, that will use that against you, to guilt you when you don't help them, or try to take advantage of you, manipulate you, things like that. And I did deal with some of that. Like I said, I may go into that maybe in another separate video, because I do think that is an aspect of personal finance content creation that I don't really see talked about a lot. And maybe others, well, I don't want to say others don't deal with it, because I'm pretty sure they have. But I just don't see it being talked about a lot within the finance, personal finance community in YouTube and TikTok and all those different things. You know, if you know of any creators, or, you know, that have talked about that before on their channels or on TikTok, definitely put them down below, and I'd love to check out their content. But, like I said, I just think that's something that just isn't, that I haven't seen talked about in this community, is kind of the things that you can be vulnerable to when being a personal finance content creator. So I did deal with a little bit of that. Those people, certain people, are no longer in my life at this point. I've kind of cut them off entirely. So, and it took some healing to get through that. So those are just kind of things that encompassed my hiatus from YouTube, what kind of drove that. And then I would say I just kind of getting back to the piece I was mentioning before about just not knowing where I wanted to go in my business and in my journey. My ultimate goal when I first started my YouTube channel was to get my finances in order, because I wanted a house. That was what I wanted to do, and that is what my ultimate goal was. And going on, what is it, 3 years now? It'll be maybe 3 years. This coming January, February, whenever. This coming year, I want to say it'll be 3 years, maybe 4. Time has flown by. 3 or 4 years since I achieved that goal. And once I did achieve it, it was like, okay, now what? You know, and I have come to realize about myself in this time that I'm a person who, I have to always be constantly striving for something in order to be happy. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I have come to learn that about myself, is that I have to always have goals and striving towards things and working towards things, and kind of that, I don't want to say hustle culture, but I always kind of have to have some things going to feel fulfilled. And I just, once I achieved getting my house, I think all the pieces just started to kind of fall at that point. And I mean fall like sort of in a bad way. and I just, you know, it was just a struggle for me. So that's kind of a lot of the searching and things I've been doing within myself to kind of figure out what exactly do I want. And in that time, I have realized, especially more recently, that I was happy talking with you all, sharing things, you know, creating content, doing all the things, being creative. I miss that. I miss being creative just in all aspects, because there are certain aspects of my creative life that I really have never shared even in my past videos, but I stopped being creative in all aspects. One thing I know I didn't share during my previous YouTube stretch was that I am a creative writer. I love writing. Reading is a passion of mine, but I absolutely love writing. Writing stories, working on books and novels and things like that. I just love that. And I've not done any of that in the past maybe year and a half, 2 years. And I miss that. I miss that about myself, that creative side of myself. So this is my refresh, my restart. So, and I think in this time, I'm pushing presence and not perfection, because that has been a hesitant of mine, a reason for hesitation within me of not restarting is wanting it to be perfect, wanting it to, you know, go off without a hitch, wanting all the things. So I just decided that there's not going to be no huge rebranding announcement, no huge any of the things. I'm just going to start, and I'm hoping that this inspires someone else to sit down and just start. You know, like I said, my motive, not my motive, but my motivation right now, and kind of my motto, I guess that's the word, motto. My motto right now is presence and not perfection. Because sometimes striving for perfection, that will stop you from actually just starting. So I know that's a big part for me. So that's what I'm preaching, and I'm telling myself that every day. It's about presence and not perfection. So what you can look forward to seeing from me, I'm going to start kind of slow and build myself up. So maybe about 1 to 2 videos a week. I am going to start, like I said, getting back more into my creative bag, whether it's creating different tools or things for my audience, looking into getting my Etsy shop back up and going, maybe launching some physical products, you know, things like that. But like I said, all that will come. It will come, and I will take you all along on that journey as it comes. Like I said, looking into getting back more into writing. I would love to start to kind of weave and incorporate that into my channel, which I know my channel is primarily personal finance, but I do want to kind of weave in all aspects of my life, because I'm wanting to get back to loving life and loving the things that I do. So I'll kind of try to weave some stuff like that in. Some of you may or may not know, but my full-time job, I'm a registered nurse. That is my full-time job. I work from home. So maybe weaving in some work from home as a registered nurse content, you know, just kind of do a little bit of everything. Lifestyle, day in the life type content, keeping that personal finance niche, of course, weaving in some of the shop aspects as I get my Etsy shop back up and going, and maybe even at some point, you know, sprinkling in here and there a little bit about my dream of being a best-selling author, maybe throwing some of that in there. I don't know, but definitely going to keep that personal finance niche in there. At some point, I will be doing a debt confession video, so that should be coming soon. I have accumulated some debt during this time, so some additional debt on top of, well, no, I paid off some of that stuff, but then got some more debt. So I'll definitely do an updated debt confession video. And what else will you see? I'm going to be doing paycheck budgets and cash stuffing. I've gone back to cash budgeting pretty much for like everyday expenses, but I do want to kind of caveat that with, not only am I going to be starting slow, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious in what I share. So you will see my videos kind of augmented a bit based on, you know, just what I'm willing to share, because I am still kind of healing in a way from that experience of someone basically attempting to take advantage of me or guilt me into giving. And a piece of my nature is that I am such a giving person. I'm a people pleaser. It's just in my nature. I'm the person who always wants to jump in and help somebody, and that leaves me vulnerable to people. It does. So I'm learning to deal with all of that and kind of work through doing the things that I love at the same time. So just look for that kind of content from me. Like I said, what you'll probably see next is my monthly budget for August. And then you'll start to see about 1 to 2 videos from me a week. Probably after the monthly budget, you may see probably cash envelope stuffing. And then I will try to get the debt confession video recorded to have that uploaded soon, so that I can let you all know what you all will be walking through with me on as I walk through some of this debt and get some of my debt paid off. So that's what you should look forward to hearing and seeing from me. Happy to be back. I am. And I just, like I said, I hope, as I said earlier, I hope that this kind of inspires someone else who's been kind of toying with the idea of getting started or restarting something, not just necessarily content creation or, you know, anything like that, but just anything. Just, I hope this really gives someone a push to say, okay, let me go ahead and start. Again, our motto is presence, not perfection. So I look forward to starting again with you all. And for those who have stuck around, so those that are coming back, any new viewers, I just thank you. I thank you for being here with me and helping me stay accountable. So I will see you all in the next video. Bye.